saw her testing the fence. Yeah, Sully's not used to it yet either. But yeah, I saw her testing the fence there. That's what she did. That's how she got out in the first place a couple times. So we're going to be putting up that electric wire to keep her from doing that. So you know those internet memes with homestead wives bringing home random animals? Well, here's Velveeta, a random animal that my wife brought home last night. She's an Idaho pasture pig. You can see she's got some bloating issues going on. That's why we got her. She was free. So we're going to see if she makes it or not. We don't know if that's going to happen. She was free, like I said, so we're prepared that she doesn't make it. We're not going to invest a bunch in vet bills and all that stuff for a free pig when we can replace her for like $50. Yes, she's not a pet. She is livestock. That's the difference. Yes, she's cute because she's a 8-week-old piglet, but she's livestock. So if she doesn't make it, she doesn't make it. If we want more pigs, we'll buy more pigs. But my wife figured we'd give her a chance, and by the time she was home, I didn't have a choice. So we did have some adventures with her last night. My wife had put her in one of the permanent goat pens. Didn't think she could get out through the fence. But yeah, Velveeta had different plans. She ran. You can see just Sully's old little hut there beyond the shed. That's just kind of across from where she was in the permanent fence on the other side. She got out and ran all the way down there, all the way through the field, up into the forest of the state park, in which my wife and I spent at least a half an hour last night after work, walking around in there, getting covered in thistles and briars and multiflora rose and all that. Only for her, the whole time we're doing that, to run all the way back down and back up to where she started. So we got her back. Didn't think we would. We did see her in the woods. We were chasing her. And somehow she made her way back up to the house. So we did get her back. We didn't think that was going to happen. So what I did last night, we just put her in calf hut and locked her in there. And what we've done today is, you can see I'm sitting in one of the sheep tractors, which I took the wheels off so it sits flat on the ground. So it's not going to be mobile, but it's here. You saw there in our little intro, her testing the fence right there. So when we put her in, I didn't think there was any way for her to get out, but there was a couple of spots right there where, from the goats leaning up on it, sheep, whatever, it popped a couple of the ties off and the fence was a little wobbly there. She squeezed out underneath it and started making her way right back that way again, but I caught her in time and brought her back in. So I've gone around the entire perimeter, zip tied the fence down everywhere, but also what we're going to do is, you can see I got a hot line running around. We're going to get her trained to this hot wire and hopefully keep her from testing the fence ever again. This is how you train pigs to hot wire. I haven't done it, but this is what I have learned from my research. You put a hot wire inside of an enclosure. Some people put it right by their food, just one little one, and let them test it and get used to it. Or you can put it all the way around the perimeter like I did, because I really don't want her getting out. And they'll get used to it after they hit it a few times, and learn not to test it anymore, because you can actually get pigs trained to 1 or 2 hot wires and they'll stay in. They say some pigs have the intelligence of a 4-year-old, which my 4-year-old seems to have a pretty good intelligence, and he would definitely figure out how to get out of anything. So we got to assume that she's going to try to do the same thing. So we're going to get that all set up. All I did is take some, I wanted to use my, can't see them there. I got a couple of the nice multi-line step-in post, but their first little notch was too high up off the ground for her nose, and it would sit too high. She would have walked right under it. So I had to use some of these cheapy plastics. Some of the clips were a little high, so I just wrapped it around right underneath it. Other ones I was able to go through. Yes, Vavita. You're not going to want to do that in a minute. So we got that line right about nose height for her. So when she tries to go under it, she's going to know not to do that. So how do I have that set up? I don't want to climb in and out here, so I'm going to lean over and show you. We got that first charger. If you saw when I first got our electric netting and put the goats and sheep out over there, this is the weak little one that I bought. I've had for a while, got it on sale, super cheap, but it's not very powerful at all. But that's probably about perfect for a little 16 by 16 enclosure, one single wire. That's probably going to hit pretty good. So I got that set up for her. Got this net right here, you can see. It's not electrified. I might have to if it doesn't work, because she did get out from the sheep tractor, then got on underneath this on the other side. Well, that's just secondary. This is not what we're electrifying. We're running that in and electrifying this poly wire right around the inside. So let's get that going. Got our ground rod out there, got it grounded. Got my hot lead, which I'm just going to clip on right there. It is not on yet, obviously, because I'm sitting on it, and I would regret that immensely. So now it is on. I do have a tester to see what this thing's hitting at. Speaking of hitting my head, so I'm going to lean over here, turn this thing on. It's flashing green, which means it's good to go. Try to get that arranged where it's getting some sun. And I'll go grab our tester and come see what this thing's hitting at. Well, we just missed it because I was moving the camera. And I know what it's hitting because she tested it. She went out, she hit the nose on it, and then crawled out around it and then went back underneath it. So I think she'll learn not to touch it. But let's get our tester on there and see how hard it's hitting. She just squeaked a little bit, so I don't know if it's even hitting hard enough, because it shouldn't be something that she wants to do multiple times in a row. And I heard her get hit about 3 times there. So let's get that tester on it and see what's going on here. I'm going to test it over here, kind of on the far end. Pardon the shadows here. I'm going to get over here on the far end of our fence and see what we're doing. Saying it's on. 6.1. That's pretty dang hot. So she must be a tough little cookie there to take that, because that's as hot as that's hot, if not hotter than what that electric net that we put around the sheep hits at. And I've touched that and that doesn't feel good. So guess I don't have to do anything hotter. We know that's going to work. All right, let's see what else we got going on out here. So you can see my shadows and my camera and my setup, whatever. Got her, like I said, in the one-way rolling, our first sheep tractor 1.0, the one that didn't have the casters. We got the boys right back there in 2.0, the one that can turn all directions. It's just easy to move. So I figured if I want to do one, I'm going to put the one that doesn't move as well. Take the wheels off, put it down. she's got some shade and some get all the weather in there. Had one more of those IBC totes, so I took the IBC tote bladder out, cut the big front off, made that her little shelter. She's got water in here. So because of the bloating, we're not going to be feeding her right now. If it is just something she ate, something like that, something that needs to pass, we don't want to be feeding her and making it worse. So we're going to wait till that passes before we feed her. I mean, she is a Idaho pasture pig. They do eat grass, and I've seen her kind of munching on what's in here a little bit. Oh, there she goes. Knows not to touch that. She will learn eventually, just like a 4-year-old. It might take a time or two. It doesn't feel good, but it ain't gonna kill them. Ain't gonna hurt them. Quit trying to squeeze around it there. Yeah, don't touch it. I'll move this away so you got more room to go around it. Kind of put you in the middle there. Well, don't touch it. Just like most 4-year-olds, it takes about 20 times for them to learn. She's not completely used to use yet. Sometimes she'll come sit in our laps. Sometimes she just runs away like that. And plus I got the camera out here and the tripod, so she's kind of a little bit leery of that. So she came straight from her mom and siblings, so she's being weaned and on her own for the first time. Like I said, they just gave her to us because of her issues. They weren't going to sell her. Got her from the same place we got Sully. My wife happened to be down there, take the kids to the zoo the other day, and they're down near where the zoo is. She said, "You got anything for sale?" And I said, "Hey, we got a free pig if you want." So of course my wife said yes. So here's Velveeta. Got a couple other things we got to do today. You can see in the background, this is our after of the Flurd being in our garden for a little over a week. I had to put a before and then an after in here so you guys can see that. So here is the after. Amazing difference. They have just wiped it out in here. I mean, you see stubs and little bits of stuff that's not so tasty, but still haven't really eaten any of that stuff in the strawberry bed. There is our single turkey now. We'll go over that here in a minute. It's been an adventurous week. Hey, Sully. Hey, Franklin. But you can see all the weeds are gone. The stuff that's 8 foot tall, they're up eating it all. I'll cut in a video of that. And then, helicopter flying over. We aren't too terribly far from an about a half hour from an airport. We happen to be kind of in the flight path, so it happens fairly often. But all the, I don't know how well you can hear that, it's pretty loud, but all the grapevines are pruned, trimmed up. I have a little bit of pruning of branches to take off, but they got all the leaves off of there. Like I said, we'll see if they eat this or not. If not, I'll have to take a mower to it. It went right overhead. Obviously, there wasn't much grass to begin with. And you can tell they're ready to move. So we are going to be moving them either later today or tomorrow out kind of right by where we have Velveeta. Because there's not much left in here. Speaking of not much left, there is our raspberries. So they ate some of the blackberries behind it, but they're pretty thorny. So I think they kind of did what they could on them, but our raspberries didn't have a ton of thorns. So you can see they pruned them up pretty good for us too. So 1 week in a jungle and you no longer have a jungle. That's what sheep and goats can do for you. And then you have your livestock guardian dog that just sits there and plays with them. And he keeps them safe. He's been alerting to a lot of things out here. We've had some deer out in here at night. He'll go off when he hears them. Sometimes I think he alerts to the cows that are out there, but that's his job. So he's a good boy. Right, Sully? You're a good boy. Yeah, good boy. You're a good boy too, Franklin. They've been getting along better too. I've been doing some collar training with him. E-collar, which I think I might have mentioned that before. Have to go over and do a dedicated video to that sometime. He took on to it pretty quick. Didn't really ever have to get shocked by it. Maybe like twice. Usually the little vibration setting is all he needs to snap him out of his puppiness, chasing people around and pushing them around. Well, here's our check-in a few hours later, and you can see she's still in the pen. I think she's figured it out. So we'll see how this goes. It looks like it's going to go all right. Hey, how are you? Just realized we never went back through the story of why there is only one turkey now. Well, what day was it? Thursday night. Came home and was just doing my regular nighttime feedings of all these guys. Went in to feed the turkeys, and so we believe we had a male and a female. This is the female. The male, its head was as bloody as could be. It was because she was pecking it and pecking it and pecking it. She was flaring up at him, pecking him, pushing him around, which is kind of crazy. He was bigger than her. Plus, it's usually the other way around, but he was not acting very, with it. He was kind of just lethargic and kind of just standing there. So we didn't know if he was going to make it or not. I didn't want to waste that meat. So Thursday night, we processed him. Got him all processed. Kind of so big, he ended up dressing out at 26 pounds. So it was a little big to fit in like a scalding pot or anything. We didn't have anything that big. So kind of parted them out a little bit, took the wings off, took the legs off, froze those separate, then froze the main carcass by itself. But it ended up being about 26 pounds. So trying to pluck that and all that, it took all evening long, especially you've never done a turkey before. Got most of the feathers off. We'll probably end up just finishing skinning them when we cook them, but got it cleaned up pretty good. So I got him parted up and frozen. So have an appointment to get him and get this one and the Cornish cross out front into the processor. But that's not for another month. So we'll see how big this one is in a month. But yeah, it's been a week of animal adventures here on Castle Rock Farm. Well, here we are out here finishing up with Miss Velveeta. Hey, baby. She's still a little skeptical of us. Got her a little bit of a probiotic I'm going to try to give her here, but didn't bring my tripod in here with me. So I'm going to be doing that off camera. You can see she's still pretty bloated there. I do have seen her pee. She is drinking. It looks like she's done some other stuff in here too. See a little bit of poop here and there. So seems like she's working. So maybe they said she'd get out all the time at their place. Maybe she just got into some other kind of food that didn't agree with her and just gonna take a few days to pass. So get her some probiotics, get that belly working, and see what happens here. But thanks for joining us here on Castle Rock Farm and Homestead. Join us next time. See if Velveeta makes it or not. Let's finish up the fence project, all that fun stuff. Like, subscribe, get the notifications. so you know when we come back. Thank you. Well, we thought we were done, but she decided to warm up to me for a little bit. See if we can get around here where she's at. Say hi, Bovita. See you next time. See you guys.